This Saturday, December 5th, Earl Spence Jr. returns to the ring against Danny Swift Garcia. And Danny is going to try to take the WBC and IBF titles off of Earl's hands. Let's talk about it. What's good, YouTube? This is STORMYBMAN, and I'm back with another pre-fight video breakdown. Before we get started, I'd like to say shout out to the LDBC, the Lions Den boxing community, and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Coming up this Saturday, December 5th, from AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, Earl the Truth Spence is coming back after a year layoff and also from his severe car accident. This sees the WBC IBF Unified Welterweight Champion return to the ring to defend his title against former champion in the welterweight division, Danny Swift Garcia. This is a fight that was on the schedule prior to Earl's accident and shortly after his victory over Showtime Sean Porter. Earl saw Danny get into the ring immediately after the fight to challenge him. And this fight was supposed to take off the first of this year. But due to the circumstances that Earl found himself in with the car accident, there was definitely a delay. He said he always intended to fight Danny as long as he could come back from the injury he suffered and put this fight to bed. The thing about Spence is he's the type of champion who likes to take on challenges. And after deciding that he would not face a soft touch or a tune-up fight to go into this fight with Danny, he decided to go directly in against the challenger and former champion. A lot of respect has to be given to Earl for doing this and making this decision, because he didn't have to come back this way. But it speaks to the notion of the nature the champion has as far as being a champion. He wants to prove himself against the best. And thus far in his career, there is nothing that speaks against that. Since winning the title in May of 2017 from Kell Brook with the 11th round KO over Brook, Spence has been on a steady ascension in the division to prove that he is the best in the world at welterweight. By taking the IBF championship away from Brook, he began to follow up with defenses against the likes of Lamont Peterson, Carlos Ocampo, and Mikey Garcia, culminating late last year in September against former champion Showtime Sean Porter. Spence best Porter in a split decision, which saw both fighters giving the best that they had to offer and reminding us what's so great about the welters when they face off against one another in high-profile matches. The closest fight that I could remember at welterweight being like this was probably when Felix Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya squared off many moons ago. But it is great to see that this young crop of champions and former champions are starting to face off against one another to show us exactly who's the best. And Spence, with his record of 26-0 with 21 KOs, is the head of the pack. Now Garcia, on the other hand, he's coming into this match having suffered 2 losses to the other former champions. He dropped a decision in March of 2017 against Keith Thurman, one-time Keith Thurman, in a split decision. And then later, he lost a unanimous decision in September of 2018 to Showtime Shawn Porter himself. Now, the thing about Danny Garcia is, with the style that he brings to the ring, Danny is a plodding, power-punching fighter who has decent hand speed, but he is a little slow of foot. But he's heavy-handed. He's known for his vaunted, what people call the no-look left hook. But it's not really a no-look left hook. It's actually a well-timed shot that when he's in the midst of battle, he looks to land that shot from time to time. Danny has power in both hands though, and he's very accurate with his punches. He has great timing, and his right hand is nothing to overlook. The thing that is his Achilles is his foot speed. Danny likes to be planted to throw his power shots, but will Spence make that an available opportunity for him? I think not. Spence has proven in his last couple of outings against Mikey Garcia and also Showtime Shawn Porter that he can adjust to fight the opponent's fight. But this fight in particular, I don't believe that will be his strategy. I do believe he will allow himself to use more lateral movement and work off of quicker combinations, not looking to plant himself and be there to be the recipient of what the counterpuncher Danny offers. This is the type of fight that could be boring. It's the type of fight that could be lackluster, or it could be the type of fight that heats up. And what will make this fight heat up is when one man does something to really slight the other. Could it be a sharp counterpunch from Danny, which alerts Earl that he has to defend his honor? Will it be the foot speed of Earl that makes Garcia say, you know something, I have to open up and go after this guy and get him? That's what's intriguing about boxing. It's the theater of the unexpected. Though we may know the temperament of fighters as they enter their bouts, we don't always know what can be brung out of the other guy. We saw that recently when Danny Dubois took on Joe Joyce, and we never thought that we would see Dubois take a knee in the midst of battle because he had suffered injury and look to be counted out. No one foresaw that coming. So in this fight, these two champions will be able to challenge one another in the same regard. What Earl has to understand about this particular fight is Danny has always been a class act, being a two-time champion in 2 different divisions. He prides himself as a championship caliber fighter, and that's where he has to be really on guard for Danny, because Danny feels he's a winner, and he is. Sometimes when a fighter has suffered defeat, it will make him go back to the drawing board, learn about what his shortcomings are, learn what he can do to be successful in his next outing. And this is where Danny may be very dangerous to Earl, because he already knows that Earl is thought of as the cream of the division. And he might have something to say about that. With the fact that he's coming in motivated and hungry, the fact that he understands that Earl is coming back from what could be a very debilitating car accident injury, this can be a table set for Danny to be successful. Now, knowing that going in, Earl is going to have to be mentally conditioned to deal with these aspects and not lose any confidence in the fact he had a setback and someone may be trying to take advantage of him. He can turn this into a motivational tool for himself, understanding that these men are coming after me not because I had an accident or suffered an injury, but these men are coming after me because I'm damn good and I'm the best. And they're gonna try to take what I have. So I have to buckle down and work extra hard to go after those who are coming after me so I can defend mine and retain. Because that's what it's about at this stage of the game for Earl, retaining. Now, in Danny Garcia's last fight resume, I mentioned that he lost to Keith Thurman and Showtime Shawn Porter. But he also surrounded those matches with fights with Robert Guerrero, Sammy Vargas, and Adrian Granados and Ivan Redkach. In those fights, he was able to best those opponents. But it was the way that he won those fights. A real debilitating KO over Adrian Granados in April of 2019, where he knocked him out in the 7th round. He looked so much physically stronger and imposing than Granados. It just seemed unfair. Now, the fight with Ivan Redkach proved where Danny's limitations could show up from time to time. Although Redkach didn't have the type of power or strength to deal with Danny, he did try to give movement from time to time, which Danny seemed to be either uninterested or couldn't actually just turn up the foot speed to do what he needed to do with Redkach. But once again, as I've said, being motivated against the best at the top of the sport, which is what Earl Spence Jr. is at this present moment, could be all that makes Danny put it all together on this particular night. That's where he becomes dangerous. The once two-time unified champion that Danny was, he may want to revisit that mountaintop. And that's what Earl has to be on guard for. What do you think about this? Will Spence be able to right the wrongs in his personal circumstances and go out and defend his championship and show that he is still the best? Will Danny be able to right the wrongs in his personal career and become a world champion again? This is what we'll be tuning in for. The fight is on pay-per-view. It is definitely worth a pay-per-view buy. Two fighters in the primes of their careers facing off. This is what the sport needs as far as the welterweight division. This is exactly what we want to see. And the winner of this fight will go forward as the best of the division. That being said, we could have more conversation about this as the fight is approaching this week. We'll have the weigh-ins and final press conferences, and then we'll have the excitement on Saturday of these two men squaring off finally after much delay. What a great way to cap off the end of the year. We're looking forward to this. You can leave comments here after this video and let STORMYBMAN think. Let me know what you think of this match and this daring matchup between these two warriors. This is all I have for you at this time. Please like the video, give me a thumbs up, and come back and tune in for more as we approach this great night. I'm signing off for now. This is STORMYBMAN. That's all I have for you for now. Everyone remain safe out there, and peace to you all. Enjoy the fight.